the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we're here in the final round of the wild card, and it is going to be an action-packed night here tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is KR Stolfus, and in the booth with me, I have a returning customer, and I also have a new individual. So let's get into it here tonight. We have Zach Fritsch on the line, as some of you may want to call him Fritchie. And we also have the Borge, Peter DeBorgia, here tonight. So Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, KR. How are you?
You know, we're getting ready to watch some racing, have a good old time here tonight. It's the final race in the wild card round, and it'll be an exciting night.
Oh, yeah, it is. There's one thing that you said in there, wild card. This is what's going to be crazy about this race. It's going to be wild. You got people that are going to be coming all the way from the back of the pack to the front of the pack. You got people in the bubble that are going to be urging to get them points tonight.
That it is. And the other person up in the booth with me here tonight, a first timer here with me, so he doesn't understand what it means when we are in the red pleasure room. But the Borge, Peter DeBorgia, how you doing?
I'm just excited to see some real big picture racing that you don't usually get to see in iRacing, except in leagues where we're here in the playoffs. Everything comes down to this, you know, in a typical iRacing setting, you just go for the checker, and if not, you load up the next one. But this one, you got teammates, you got points you're worried about, everyone's working together, pit strategy. Everything's coming together at this moment right here for all these guys.
There is a lot going on, so let's get right into it. Drivers starting to roll out for qualifying. One of our championship contenders, the 4 of Rick Seabrands, out on to the Speedway. He's not the only one. Dave Hunt out there as well, and TJ Elliott in the 51 machine making his way around as well.
Yeah, going to TJ Elliott, you know, he unfortunately had a bad finish of last week's race. He was first actually in our standings just before last week's race, and like I said, unfortunate ending crash to what came to a bad night as for him last week. So be sure to be on the lookout for him. He's definitely going to try to make a big bounce back up to the top of the standings here.
So Peter, your first time calling some qualifying, so let's throw you to the wolves. Let's test your chops here. What driver are you watching, and what are you looking to see here out of their qualifying effort?
I'm super excited to watch these guys who are always near the front, like, you know, the Hunter Reynolds, the Josh Milam, these guys who just qualify near the front over and over and over again. And when I race against these guys on Wednesdays and Saturdays, they're just on the front row again. Now I can actually see. I'm watching the broadcast. I can see exactly the lines that they're taking, where they really try to pick up a lot of speed, and when do they go for it on both laps? Do they go for it just the first lap? What are we doing here? And it's really good to see how the sausage is made of the elite qualifying that these guys are able to put in.
Well, Hunter Reynolds in the 26, one of the drivers you mentioned, had quite a few poles this year, but Tyler Miller, a rookie, has more poles than the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. And right now, TJ Elliott sitting on top of the leaderboard with a 50.31. Mark Vega in second place for the moment. Hunter Reynolds in third. Jimmy Reynolds in the 17 machine, the first non-chase driver, finding himself now in sixth spot as a couple more drivers post their lap times.
Yep, as we see here, Josh Milam got the top spot after we just talked about him. He actually went really hot on that second lap of qualifying, and then Dave Hunt coming in right behind him with the 50.270. So yeah, like I said, we still got quite a few drivers to qualify here. In fact, I'm looking, it looks like we got about maybe 7 more, so coming as they go in.
Do want to give a quick shout out to the 04 Mark Mann, someone who made it in here kind of last minute, had his own issues, some internet connection issues as he blinks out right there. And as a tradition, with no particular reason why it's a tradition, it just is.
Very nice.
All right, let's check in on some other championship contenders. Les Levy in the 62 machine, as everything is frozen up on my overlay. That's always a good time. Les Levy finding himself in 5th spot here. I'm going to try and reboot this while y'all keep talking.
I'm really impressed to see Mark Vega up there. I know he didn't have his favorite races of the season, these first couple races of the wildcard round, and he's the guy that really needs these stage points here, and a qualifying effort like this is going to be a huge help to keep him near the front at the end of stage 1. Hopefully, if he gets a good stage 1 and 2, then he's going to be on equal footing for that last stage, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. A couple of the other guys though that I'm a little surprised by, some chase guys near the back. Robert Duvendak's locked in, so I don't know. He's going to have the lowest blood pressure of anyone tonight, but you don't typically see names like Sebrands, Holloway, Williams, Gilchrist like that, typically in the back after qualifying. So it looks like maybe they just took it easy on the first lap, or if they're going to stay back there and work together, maybe try and short pit or something. But those are not names that you're typically used to seeing in the teens like that.
One driver a little bit down the order is Mark Mann in the 04, does take over pole position with a 50.22. Logan Helton in the 63 coming out late for his qualifying effort. So the 63 being one of the last championship contenders to roll out. James Mayer in the top 5, and right now top 5 spots all going to our qualifying or our chase contenders here in qualifying.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take you guys through real quick of we're just looking at my point standings as well, just like everybody else is going to mention some of the names that are on the bubble. It looks like we got Casey Gilchrist, Travis Elliott, Daniel Holloway, Hunter Reynolds, Rick Sebrands, Les Levy, Mark Mann, Mark Vega, and James Mayer. And James Mayer actually was absent, took a provisional last week, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be wanted to be super strong, as he wants to bounce all the way back up in the points, and maybe, if not, try to see about getting a win here tonight to help him out.
Well, speaking of points, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our points coming into tonight before we head off into the anthem here. As we look at the standings, Josh Milam coming in with the points lead. Logan Helton not too far behind him. Robert Duvendak sitting in 3rd. Duvey picking up that very crucial win last week. Ernie Williams in 4th, and Casey Gilchrist in 5th. And then everyone from 5th place, or I should say 6th place through 13th. That is going to be a bit of a toss-up. The points are very close throughout that entire order. And remember, here tonight, we're only taking the best 8 drivers as they roll through. A win and you're in situation for quite a few of these guys.
It is really bunched up there, but the guys I'm going to be looking for at the beginning are those guys right near the back. James Mayer, Mark Vega, even Mark Mann. Are they going to get aggressive and go for stage points super duper early to put them in stable footing for later? Or are they going to be thinking, win it in, how do I keep my car alive? How do I pocket a fast repair for late in the race? The strategy is going to be definitely interesting there. A lot of team stuff at play. We got 5 Alliance Motorsports cars in the top 13 right now. Do they really think they're going to get all 5 of them in the next round? Are they going to play it safe with the ones that are leading that 5, and they're going to push the 3 that aren't doing as great? Or is it every man for himself out there? It's going to be interesting to see the team dynamic too.
All right, with that being said, Logan Helton just took the top spot, a 50.21. David Overstreet out on his qualifying effort, and Overstreet, one of 3 drivers who has not posted a time just yet. The other 2 drivers, I believe they're going to just skip qualifying altogether as they have not started rolling out, and it is getting late in this session. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and roll into our national anthem. So please join me as we honor this nation.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight at Daytona, as it is the final race in the wildcard round. And with that being said, and with the drivers taking to the grid, let's roll right into tonight's starting lineup. On the inside of row number 1 with a time of 50.217, your fastest qualifier here tonight out of Alliance Motorsports, it's the 63 of Logan the Kid Helton. On his outside, his teammate, the 04 of Mark Mann. That is your front row. Row number 2 going to be the 7 of Josh Milam and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Teammates on that row there as well. Alliance Motorsports going to pack it into row number 3 as well. Rick Seabrand's in the 4 on the inside. On the outside, the 95 of James Mayer. Row number 4 going to be the 53 of Dave Hunt from Buck Wild Racing. On his outside, Mark the Boss Vega in the 18 machine. Row number 10 going to be the 62 of Les Levy, and on his outside, it's the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds.
Then we got row 11 on the inside, the 51 of Travis Elliott, chase contender. On the outside, number 9, Will Weber. Then we have row number 12, 71, Sean McCara, and then the 21, Daniel Holloway, a championship contender on his outside. The following row after, we got number 5, Bob Lacavera, and on his outside, we have Casey Gilchrist. Then we have the 84, Aspen Belvin, and on his outside, we have the 91, Ernie Williams, chase contender. Then on row 20, we have the number 12, Robert Duvendak, with already a win in the wild card, and on his outside, David Overstreet, 46.
Row 11, we got 2 weeks ago spoilers, Randall Cobb, former race winner a couple weeks ago here, and he's the last one that took a qualifying lap. These last 2 guys, Dan Harrington is outside of row 11, and Rodney Cobb riding shotgun for the field. trying to let the carnage play out in front of them here, playing it safe at the back. But be on the lookout for these guys. They got nothing to lose points-wise. They're going to be pushing really hard to get to the front.
All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the final race in the wild card round. Logan Helton in the 63 on pole. Logan in a safe position on points, but not necessarily locked in as the green flag is out. And we are underway for the first time here tonight. 100 laps coming your way, plus maybe a little extra if we need them. We will have 2 attempts at a green-white checkered. And the 63 of Logan Helton has Josh Milam in the 7 on his back bumper as they head off into turn number 1. Starting to form up on that inside lane very quickly. The outside lane, though, Zach, not so much.
Yeah, you're right about that, KR. It looks like that inside line is getting really stacked, and actually not very much help on that outside lane to keep things moving forward with Josh Milam leading that outside lane. Mark Mann and Hunter Reynolds all behind him as they stack up more coming around turn number 4.
They seem to be getting a little all over the place. Teammates really trying to get bunched up together here, but not a lot of working together just yet. You got a couple FSR guys there. Jimmy Reynolds pulling up behind Hunter there, but right now everyone's trying to get settled and get themselves ready for the fuel run here. Window's going to open up in about 6 laps or so to the end of stage 1. So we're going to see some people try to get to the bottom.
So Logan Helton in the 63 out in front here with the early lead. Rick Seabrands in the 4 on his back bumper. 2 teammates working together there, and then it's the 7 of Josh Milam trying to work the outside in the Booty Sweat Al Pacino's machine. The 04 of Mark Mann pushing on his back bumper, and way up in that 3rd lane, that's the 18 machine of Mark Vega. He's going to try and blend in here and gives up his dreams of being high, wide, and handsome for the moment.
Yeah, Mark Vega, no stranger to the top lane on that 3 wide. He loves taking an eye at that 3 wide to see if anybody might want to come with him or not. But as they're all still stacking up now in that inside lane, like exactly Peter said, they may want to pit here to see if they can get some stage points.
Yeah, the reason the pitting at the beginning of the window works so well is that if, you know, your group of 4 or 5 teammates decide to pit with you there, and then everyone else comes down a lap or 2 later, when they're exiting the pit, you're going to catch them and catch their draft while they're exiting the pit. So you get a little bit of a bonus draft that they weren't entitled to when they were driving around by themselves out there. So the short pit actually does really, really help in the super speedways here. And if they're able to get single file, they can really, with 4 or 5 cars, kind of prevent anyone else from winning the stage. So you'll see a lot of cars try and jump to the bottom here and maybe get to pit road as soon as that window opens. And if someone's stuck in the high line, that might change their strategy entirely. Rather than trying to pit on lap 7 or 8, they might just say, you know, let's just wing it. Let's see if a caution comes out. We can keep this track position and maybe go the entire stage without pitting.
Fastest lap of the race, Ernie Williams turning that one last time around. So these cars getting up to full speed here. A 46.61. Big trouble for James Mayer down on the apron there coming off of turn 4. He's going to gather it back in, but man, that could have been a rough one. Dave Hunt in the 53 giving him plenty of room, and that's a good heads-up driving by the 53 of Hunt, not, you know, pushing the issue there and allowing that 95 to gather himself back in. Right now, a lot of chase contenders in the top 10. And, well, a couple of them hanging back at the back. Robert Duvendak in the 12, one of those drivers at the back of the field. This 12 machine has the Dogecoin wanting to go to the moon, but he is locked in, so maybe he's going to just try and take it easy here tonight.
Yeah, that was a good move by James Mayer, and especially from all this field to check up, because, man, I thought we were going to have the big one real early like we did last week, but that wasn't the case. That's a good good attention by all these drivers looking in front of them and seeing what was going on. Still got that outside lane. 7 of Josh Milam still leading that pack with Hunter Reynolds right behind him and Jimmy Reynolds behind Hunter. So as we're second up, coming around on the backstretch now.
Knowing what I know about that outside groove, those guys are so unhappy right now. I know they don't look it. They're near the front of the field, so they're doing great, but those FSR guys, the 7, the 26, the 17, those guys are notorious for pushing the envelope on pitting as early as humanly possible. And if they're able to push that 7 in front and get down to the bottom, he's going to try to let all those guys in so they can pit together right away. So you can see even as far back as the 53 is really trying to make sure that there's no window for any of them to jump down and then let the 2 friends in. But look at that. If there's a gap, I can promise you the 7, the 26, and the 17 is going to pounce on it down to the bottom and try to let the other 2 cars in so that they can all pit together.
Let's take a quick look at our race info here tonight as we're working lap 7 of 100. As we keep saying, this is the final wild card round, race number 19 of a 22 race season. Right now, only Dubedak is locked in, so everyone else is hoping that their teammates are going to be able to help them, and it could come down to teammates kicking each other out of the 8 drivers we look to. So it's going to be a wild one. One thing to watch for is, you know what the old saying is? Don't tug on Superman's cape. And more often than not, Rick Seabrand's called Superman, call him the king here of OP. You call him whatever he wants, but he is not locked in. He is in a desperate situation, and one thing that comes to mind is don't tug on Superman's cape. Keep in mind, we could have a surprise winner. I know Peter mentioned that it wouldn't shock him to see somebody from outside of the championship contention be one of our winners here tonight. And of course, our fuel run being provided by Logan Helton. And he's getting much braver, getting a little bit closer. Says at least 5 laps of fuel as we have green flag pit stops underway. Quite a bit of the field on the pit road.
Yeah, as you just seen them pull away, we have a huge pack going into the first pit cycle already. It looks like we got maybe about 12 cars that stayed out that are still coming around the second turn now. Josh Milam leading that pack with Hunter Reynolds and all FSR group.
That was really surprising to see that. As soon as the 7 cleared him, I bet Rick was like, okay, we're pitting now. He didn't want to let the FSR guys get down and dictate the pit strategy and the pace of the race. As soon as Milam had cleared the 4, I think he was on the radio right away saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. And the thing about it is, with all these guys so bunched together in points, the guys behind him had a chance to react. So the other guys might have had a strategy. Once you see that first car jump down, we're following them. We want to make sure we're in the largest pack that pits the earliest. And down as soon as Josh cleared him there, I think there was a lot of reactions there. So that typically can lead to some scary pit stop moments. If people are like, oh, I was only going to add this many gallons of fuel, or oh, I was going to take 2 tires, but now I don't have enough time to do that. And it looks like everyone did a pretty good job staying organized, and this group is flying. I think they really want to start making up some time.
Mark Vega, Will Weber, Dave Hunt, 3 cars staying out. They did not make their way on the pit road just yet. And let's check in on the drivers who pitted and got off of pit lane very quickly. That is the 63 of Logan Helton. He is leading the 4 Rick Seabrands, the 04 of Mark Mann, the 95 of James Mayer, and the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Alliance Motorsports showing teamwork here very early. Are they going to have enough speed down the backstretch to take over Josh Milam and Hunter Reynolds, 2 very experienced drivers here as well? And easy peasy does it right there. Logan Helton going to take over the race lead for the moment. Dave Hunt scored out in the front as your leader, but he has not come down pit road yet, and he is all by himself.
Yeah, it's a fortunate break for him, but hey, just like last week, you never know what could happen. A caution could come out at any point in time to help him back up on pit strategy. Josh Milam, and I looked in that group of the second pit cycle, it looked like they were spread out quite a bit, KR and Pete. It looks like they didn't have the momentum that they had going into inside when they went into the pits and came out. So, but it looks like they're making a nice little climb back on that first pit cycle as they're now coming on the outside. Mark Mann looking to step on the outside to block that momentum, but they get it wide to into top 3, or in the 3rd lane, sorry. And they're trying to side draft to the way to the front.
Well, Rick jumped out too there in the 4 car. You can see that to not leave the 04 alone, it forces those guys to be the only 2 up there in the 3rd line. You know, it's good. They're going to slow down to let all these guys catch up. Only going 2 by 2 by 3 like this. It's going to punch a huge hole in the air They see the 62, the 13, the 84. They're all coming back into the picture here. They were probably a little concerned that when the 7 and the 26 came back in. Oh, we got some contact.
Ooh, big moment there off of turn number 2. However, they all blend right back in, and we get back underway. Aspen Belvin in the 84 machine, laying down the fastest lap of the race with a 46.09 last time by. So race pace picking up there just a little bit. You can feel the pressure starting to mount to try and get some stage points here. One driver not on the lead lap had a bit of a rough pit entry, got caught speeding. That's the 91 of Ernie Williams.
Ooh, tough break for Ernie Williams. He was one of the guys that got a stage win last week. I'm pretty sure he would love to have that one back. So bad for him and for the speeding piddling that he ended up having here. On the backstretch now, we got Rick Seabrands and Mark Mann on the outside. We got Team Alliance up in the front leading this pack as Josh Milam's heavy pushing on Mark Mann to get through.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Mark plays this here, or Mark Mann plays this in the outside line. If he just takes Josh's pushes and kind of gets clear there, it's going to let Hunter and Josh then dictate the pace of the outside lane. But I don't know if they want to do that. And you see, what you do here is now you're forcing Josh to go up high to the third lane potentially. Hunter will go with him if that's what the case is, but then you got Les Levy right behind him. You've got Robert Duvendak right back there. You're going to have some other guys that haven't been quite in the mix up at the front yet that could definitely try to make their way up here just before the end of the stage.
Another championship contender looking at going a lap down, the 51 of TJ Elliott just ahead of our leaders as they are starting to close in on him. TJ having some issues here. Some of you might know him as Travis Elliott, but we're calling him TJ Elliott from here on out because, Zach, you know why.
Yep, definitely know why. We're going around 3 wide now. It looks like TJ's going to have to either push it way high against that wall. That way they don't cause a big one here, or he may even get down to the apron. Not for sure yet on what his move is, but they're 3 wide coming around the back stretch now.
I do want to point out Dave Hunt in the 53 is still our race leader. He is not hit pit lane just yet. So we're talking about this battle going on, and it is a big battle. And when Dave Hunt hits pit road here in this lap or the next one, he will give up the lead to this battle shaping up. And I do have news from Race Control. Travis Elliott got a drive-through penalty, and David Overstreet and Ernie Williams were collected on pit road with contact.
Yeah, Overstreet was one of the popular picks amongst talking people that was going to get really aggressive there and have a chance to go for the win. Not being one of the chase contenders, but a guy who's frequently near the front in this series, in the Wednesday series, and the Saturday series. He's always one to look out for. So it's those guys will be battling for the lucky dog here. We know we're getting a caution at lap 25, so it's going to be up to them to see if they can position themselves to get that back. Ernie and Travis definitely worried about the chase situation, so they may even gamble and stay out on the next stage and try and get a wave around and hope for an early caution and try and gamble on fuel strategy that way to get their laps back. But they're in a tough spot, especially since Overstreet's the one that's in the lucky dog spot at the moment.
James Mayer in the 95 out in front of this pack. Dave Hunt still has not come down pit road. He is still your race leader, but the action is right here. Big pack of drivers, 3 wide. They are trying to bring this one to the end of stage 1, which is at the completion of lap 25 here tonight.
As Rick Seabrands bottoms out on the apron there for a minute. Luckily he gets back in. Oh, we got some nice nice little touch by the Rick Seabrands of the number 4 into the 63 of Logan Helton as they all spin around.
Caution flag coming out, and Dave Hunt once again looking like a stud on that one.
You better have that engine off already and just popping the clutch and rolling around and saving as much as he can, because he's going to be close on fuel. If he wants to go for it, he certainly has a shot at it. But he might just pit and just take it safe. I think a lot of other cars are going to be pitting here anyway. right before the end of the stage, you can kind of top off on fuel. And if you're one of these guys near the back who's thinking maybe I'm not going to pit again when the stage flag comes out, then maybe there's a chance to gamble here, top off on fuel, and just be a few laps short of the rest of the guys. Might be an opportunity for a team to do it as a whole too, to try and gamble on pit strategy and short pit next stage.
All right, let's back this up just a little bit and see what happened to our drivers here tonight. Mark Mann in the 04 going to make contact with the 21 and the 4 and send them down to the inside wall. Mark Mann in the 04 getting himself in trouble here. Take one more look at this one. Logan Helton out of shape, gathers it back in. Ernie Williams, Mark Mann, both of them locking it down. But you got to feel for Daniel Holloway in the 21 and Rick Seabrans in the 4. Holloway in that 4 machine, his engine expiring. He has to use a fast repair to get back out there. Rick Seabrans in the 4, able to continue on. His car torn up, but you could hammer out that damage and try and survive through stage 1 and 2 without burning a fast repair.
Yep, looks like Holloway's going to do just that. He's going to have to use that fast repair, which he does indeed. The 63 of Logan Helton looks like he's got that backside damage. I think he's just going to live with that and just repair it as optional and try to keep that race car clean. That way he can save that fast repair for later on this race.
Yeah, it looks like people are just coming down here. It looks like Dave Hunt coming in to top off a little bit too. This really put a hamper on there on Alliance Motorsports in particular. They had 4 of their guys get caught up in that mess, and Mark Mann didn't get that much damage. He lost a ton of track position though. It's gonna put them all kind of in the same spot though. They're all gonna be kind of bunched together there, so it's gonna be interesting to see them kind of climb their way back through the field. And they still got James Mayer in the top 5.
I believe that TJ Elliott received the free pass. He is at full speed, making his way down the backstretch while everyone else is in turn 1. So the 51, I think, has gotten back on the lead lap here. So good news for the fans of the driver of the 51. Ernie Williams in the 91, not as fortunate. He is still 1 lap down, and we'll see if he can get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, it looks like David Overstreet was able to get back on the lead lap as well with Travis Elliott. So good news to both of them drivers. Unfortunate for Ernie Williams. It looked like we got maybe 1 to go after this this pace lap, and it looks like Josh Milam is going to be your leader.
I'm actually not sure if Overstreet's going to get the lap back or not. Let's see, because I don't know if he was clear of everybody or not before the crash, or maybe he was involved in it. But he's still behind the pace car here, so you would have thought they would have waved him around by now. Either way, one of them, but either Overstreet or Williams, is going to be in a good position to get the lucky dog in 5 laps time. So unless one of these other wrecked cars goes a lap down here, it's going to be one of those 2 guys that's going to get it back in a second. I think Overstreet would be taking a wave around. We'll see. He's at the front of the pack, so they might be sending him around now.
And there he goes. So easy peasy for the 46 on getting back on the lead lap. Just don't go down pit road.
Unfortunately, I've made that mistake a couple times myself, KR.
Do want to take a moment to thank all the fans chiming in on a YouTube chat. We got Tammy Helton saying hello, Mara Clark as well. Logan, I'm not even going to try and say your last name. I'll let Zach Fritchie try it. David Booth saying hello, and Cody Eldred stopping by. Race control here for OP. Not only is he race control, but he is our pit reporter, and we'll pull him in from time to time to see what he has to say to us. But you know, right now we got myself in the booth along with Zach and Peter, and so far, guys, we're coming to the end of stage 1 here, and nobody's gotten fired yet.
That's good. That's good news. I guess, KR, I guess I'll take a shot at it. Logan Detwiller. That's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if that's right. We'll see.
I'm going with Detweiler.
Detweiler, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to get that in there before he put it in the chat, so it didn't look like I cheated. So I'm saying Detweiler.
Gotcha. But replying back to Logan's comment saying if we had 3-man in the booth tonight and how he wants to do three-man booths for the next 3 Mondays, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I can go the whole season. I don't know about you, Pete.
Let me see how long it takes me to go to sleep tonight. If it's anything like this first stage, I'm gonna be too hyped up, and it's gonna take me 2 hours to get wound down. So, but this is exciting stuff here. We're going to green right now, and I'll throw it back to KR.
Green flag is out. Just the final few laps here in stage number 1. Keep in mind this stage ends at the completion of lap 25. Josh Milam out in front where he wants to be. He has his teammate on the outside lane as well. The 7 and the 26 from that Fuel Sim Racing. Then the 9 of Will Weber right behind them. Weber from Empire Motorsports. And the 95 of James Mayer. Robert Dumendak in the 12. We were watching him. He was at the tail end of this field not too long ago. The 12 machine finding himself knocking on the outside of the top 10. So he's not sitting back. He's gonna try and work his way forward here.
And it looks like a bit on that restart in the back of the pack. I seen the 63 touch sides with another driver. I couldn't make it out which car it was, but he did touching another driver there. But it looks like he's still on the draft. I wanted to point out that you see most of these cars weaving back and forth. That's because of the track temp. We are in an opposite temperature of what we had last week. Last week we had a nice cooling 76 degrees. Track wasn't as slippery as we're now sitting at 107 degrees for the track temp. So these cars are going to be slipping and sliding all over the place.
One thing I want to take note of here, look at the drivers that we've got at the front that we haven't seen. Yeah, we've seen the 7 and the 26 up here a lot, but there's some guys we haven't seen up here in a while. That 82, Dan Harrington from Meteor Racing. Doesn't have a teammate in the whole field, doing this whole thing solo. It's so hard to work around here without a friend. And you got Casey Gilchrist and Sean McCarra, the 13 and the 71 there on the outside. They're now looking at good for stage points. Casey's trying to secure some spots there. Mark Vega, one of the people at the bottom at the standings in the chase, right down 95, James Mayer. These guys are trying to bank as many stage points as possible. Take advantage of these Alliance guys that got caught up in that wreck. Get some stage points, try and neutralize that advantage that you got a chance at this thing, and you don't necessarily have to win.
Side by side at the front, the 7 and the 9, as we're going to begin the final lap of stage 1. Here we go. Who's going to be at the line? That is anyone's guess. Josh Milam has it. Milam coming in with the points lead here tonight, but that doesn't mean that he's just going to sit back and relax. He would like to try and eliminate some of his tough competition that is in a must-win situation, and the 7 machine has that yellow line to his inside. He has got that car out in front. Mark Vega in the 18 looking to bring in a solid points haul here. He is another driver in a must-win situation, but a solid effort to finish this stage would go a long way for the 18 machine. Oh, contact in the middle, the 71 sideways. Will Weber in the 9 is going to get it done at the line.
What a crazy way to end the stage 1. Just wanted to point out, look at that there at the top lane was James Mayer. It looks like he comes away with a 3rd or 4th position for that final stage. So good for him, as he was absent last week, to try to bounce back up in the lead for the points.
Yeah, huge point score for Vega, for Mayer. Like, they definitely need it. Milam's already at the top. This just might cement. He might even lock him in. I'm going to crunch the numbers here and throw it in the Google sheet in just a second. But you can see a lot of the guys at Alliance, a lot of the guys at Checkered Flag that really wanted to make sure they banked some points weren't able to do so because they got caught up in that caution. So just going to put them behind the 8 ball a little bit here. But here's a chance to play tricky with the strategy. Are you going to fill up all the way? Are you going to take tires now? Or are you going to short pit the next stage? Let's see what these guys do when they come back around the pit.
All right, let's go ahead and talk to our stage 1 winner. That is the driver of the 9 machine. That is Will Weber. Will, you got your ears on, bud?
I sure do. How are you doing, KR?
Not too bad, not too bad. You pick up the stage win here tonight, and man, Solid drive by the 9 machine, gaining 11 spots here in this stage to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm really here just to help my teammate out. I actually have been taking some time off, and yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to say. Car feels really good, and enjoying being back out with everybody.
Well, the 9 machine picks up the stage win here to the detriment of all the championship contenders, and you're just out there for fun.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you come out and you're in that mindset, right?
It is. All right, so you're getting ready to head down pit road, so we don't distract you. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Shout out to Empire Motorsports. We had overall a relatively rough year, but hopefully next season is a little bit better. Obviously, we got Doobie still in the chase, so good luck to him and good luck to all the other chase guys.
All right, Will, once again, man, congratulations. Solid effort so far here in stage 1.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so Will Weber on the pit road, your stage 1 winner. And guys, pit lane very, very busy.
Yes, indeed it is. As it looks like Dave Hunt is the first one out. He ended up, remember, topping off that last fuel run, so maybe that gave him a less short pit stop time compared to all these drivers that did not top off.
Yeah, with only 23 drivers in the field, it's not like you're going to fall too far behind if you decide to get some more damage worked on, if you want to top off on fuel like he did right there before. If you want to get 4 tires now with the plan of getting 0 tires in your green flag stop. This track behaves a lot differently than Talladega, especially as we mentioned with the track temp here too. With it being so warm, you really want to make sure you have grip. And one of the worst places on the track to drive is that exit of pit road in turn 1 in these cars. Like, these cars are a little bit heavier. They really don't like to grip there, especially when it's hot. They try to slide around a little bit. And if you got into your box a little too hot and flat spotted them a little bit, it's really, really treacherous around there. And on a green flag stop, you and your buddies are trying to go as fast as humanly possible, right? You're trying to catch the next guys who are going to pit on a lap later or pit a lap before you. So that's where it can get really, really nerve-wracking there. So you saw some guys take the tires now, some guys did it beforehand. We'll see if some people take lefts next time by, or that might sacrifice some pit time. So it's all playing into strategy here. I love it when we have a tough track like this because it opens up so many pieces of the decision tree.
Daniel Holloway stayed out, and I believe he stayed out to lead a lap. He makes his way on the pit road now. That is going to give the lead to the 7 of Josh Milam. He is going to restart on the inside lane of row 1 with Mark Vega in the 18 on his outside. Row number 2 for this restart, the 13 of Casey Gilchrist and the 53 of Dave Hunt on the outside. Row number 3 will be the 52 of Randall Cobb on his outside. Well, that's the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds.
I like that move that Daniel Holloway did there. He's in the bubble. Hey, bonus point's a bonus point for leading a lap, and that's what he gets there. For leading 1 lap, he gets 1 bonus point. Points is all what counts down to this. Everybody knows that. So, plus, I don't think it was a bad idea to go ahead and top off here. Hey, maybe you might have that chance, maybe that small chance to run it all the way out to the end of the second stage. Maybe he can run it all the way out.
We have reached the point in the race now that I think Josh Milam is basically locked after that 9 points he got in stage 1. One thing that really hit hard, though, was Alliance Motorsports. Now, Seabrands is now 9th in points, 8 back from the good after no stage points. Les Levy, another 2 behind him. Mark Mann. Mark Vega gained a little bit there with 7 stage points. He's closed the gap. James Mayer's closed the gap a little bit, but there's a pretty distinct gap here between Holloway and Seabrands now. 8 points to the good is Daniel Holloway. We'll see if Alliance can neutralize that a bit in stage 2 and where we're going to be sitting then.
The boards coming in clutch with a calculator. At least somebody brought one. Here we go. Green flag getting ready to come back out. Josh Milam in the 7, making that accelerator pedal become really good friends with the floorboard. As we are back underway, we have one car pulling onto pit road. That is the 91 of Ernie Williams. Problems continue for the 91 machine. he's looking to try and end this night as quickly as possible, because this is just one headache after another for him.
Unfortunate break for Ernie. Yeah, I did see him pull off. Tough news. Looks like coming around the backstretch now, we got Mark Vega in that 18 leading that outside pack, or the outside lane, with the 53 of Dave Hunt right behind him. Looks like we got a couple of non-chase contenders wanting to upset most of these chase drivers here tonight, you guys.
Well, Vega's definitely in this chase, and he's fighting for this win here. He knows he needs, the win is going to be the best, but if he gets another chunk of stage points like he did in stage 1, he'll be right there. And it's, I mean, I know it's bad news and we don't like to see it, but I can tell you those bottom 4, bottom 5 guys are super excited to see Ernie pull off on pit road, because he was 6th in points of, you know, several points to the good there, and that's going to just make things a lot more interesting. If he doesn't get a yellow and find a way to get this lap back, it's going to be really tough sailing for him the rest of the way.
So the 18 now down on the inside, the 53 on the outside. Mark Vega, one of the drivers in a must-win situation, but Peter, you're keeping track of all that for us, and the 18 had a good points haul, but man, here he is out in front.
I mean, nothing feels better than leading laps here too, and you know, leading the most laps gets you some more points as well. So every single thing counts, and if that's what you're going to do on the way to your win anyway, you might as well just rack them up in the meantime. One thing that's also interesting is look at Rick Seabrands. He's in 9th right now, points-wise. He needs the points, but he can't get aggressive and get up there. He used his fast repair after that crash. He can't get caught up in something else. He's got to play it really safe back here. He's behind Robert Duvendak, who's already locked in. So those two guys, they played about as safe as you could ever imagine. Dan Harrington right in front of them, a guy who never even qualifies, he plays it so safe. So Rick really just trying to keep his car in one piece and give himself something to work with at the end. But I think that might actually hurt him a little bit if he doesn't get any stage points here.
Zach, as a up-and-comer here in this OP racing, you're going to try and join them on Monday nights starting next season. So that being said, you're driving in the feeder series. How are you processing this championship battle here as the 4 of Rick Seabrands is at the back?
One thing I like to mention now is just strategies. You know, if you can always smell when one's cooking up. You know what I mean by that? You can smell if Rick's coming. You can you got that gut feeling. You know what to think, and you just, you know, you got to go with it, because sometimes it helps you and sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. As we got a couple of drivers coming down for the pits now. Looks like about 4 or 5 drivers came off the front line pack that we got going on.
Oh, Sean McCara hit the commitment cone there. I don't know if he's going to get a penalty or not. Looks like it's all the Rapid Yeet guys that pulled off there. It's like Casey Gilchrist, Aspen Belvin, Travis Elliott, Sean McCara. They're going to try and short pit this window here and put Casey and Travis in the best chance to get some stage points. So we saw how good the early pit stop worked for the Alliance guys after the cycle last time around. Let's see where these guys end up, because you know FSR is going to be trying to short pit. You know Alliance is going to be trying to short pit. But do they want to do it all together, or they want to go separate and not, you know, leave anyone behind? I can tell you, whenever those guys pull out of the middle, though, it makes the whole pack a little bit more fragmented, and here they all come.
Ooh, another big pile. Brakes locking up. Jimmy Reynolds in the 17, very aggressive. Did he get it slowed down? And I can confirm from race control that the 71 machine did get a penalty there. Now we got to see if the 17 is going to get a speeding penalty, and the 18 into his pit box. The 53 of Dave Hunt out in front of everybody who has not yet hit pit road, and this is going to really shake things up. I do want to mention Ernie Williams did get back out on the track. Williams going, I believe he's another lap down, make that 2 laps down for the driver of the 91.
Looks like now it looks like Ernie is working with the number 9 of our stage 1 winner, Will Weber, around the backstretch now. Looks like them 2 cars are by themselves.
And the worst thing for Ernie to see there, or maybe he hasn't seen it, but the worst thing he's going to hear is seeing Sean McCara go a lap down with that commitment cone violation, because now that puts Sean in the lucky dog spot. Ernie's not going to be the first one to get that if there's a caution that comes out now. So it's a huge blow to his championship hopes. And And for Sean, I mean, I've raced with him and been in voice chat with him in the feeder series a bunch. That lap isn't going to bother him. I know he would love to win a race more than anybody else here, just as much because he hasn't had the success this season he probably liked. His job is to focus on his teammates, and he is a great teammate. He was leading at the end of the race last week, or on Wednesday rather, and really put together a great package. And when he wasn't there, he's like, nope, my teammate got around me and they had a chance to win. It was the right play at the right time. Like, his job is going to be to help his guys out, and he'll be right back in Casey's bumper at the end of the stage, even if he's a lap down. He don't care.
All right, guys, everyone's been waiting for it. The 44 is out in front. That is Rodney Cobb with the 5 of Bob Lacavera right behind him. That means the Bucks have gone wild. Buck Wild Racing out in front right now with the 44 and the 5 as they make their way down the back stretch and into turns 3 and 4. Robert Duvendak right behind them. He's in third spot. And they are going to not pit. The 44 does hit pit lane, and Bob Lacavera in the 5 going to lead a lap here. And that 5 machine has been a driver who I've been watching, and if he can avoid the crashes going on around him, he can end up in a good finish. And he had a solid finish last week. He is looking to build on that here this week, and being out in front one way or another. It doesn't matter if it is because of pit strategy or because you passed everybody. Being out in front is a good feeling, and that 5 team is looking for a lot of good feels.
Looks like when Team Alliance pitted 2 laps ago now, when they were exiting pit road, the 21 of Daniel Holloway ended up getting way too loose and actually going into the infield grass, leaving him behind with his team as they continued on for the rest of the pack, trying to catch up to the FSR and Josh Milan. Looks like, though, the 4 of Rick Seabrands was able to come up to 21's bumper, and now it looks like them 2 are all by themselves now in turn 3, trying to hold anything possible to get that draft going from out going a lap down.
Well, here we are. Same story, different lap. You got your FSR guys. Oh, Casey jumped out there. Gilchrist in the 13 saying, no, I don't want these FSR guys dictating the pace of both lines at the same time. He's going up there trying to lead a lap, get one secured. I don't know if he's going to then jump back in line or not, or if he's going to try and save some fuel, but really aggressive move by the 13. You can see the 26 is just looking to take him 3 wide. He's like, I hate that this guy's in front of me. We were controlling the whole pace of this thing. And the 26 does have his teammate, the 17, behind him. So I'd look to see if they don't let the 13 lead a lap, if they try and ease off him, not give him quite the push, and then they try and take him 3 when he slips up a little. Like, it's going to be, that's the way FSR tries to do things. They want to make sure they're controlling the pace, especially because they've got guys who are close to the bubble.
Side by side at the front, this battle has got 10 more laps before we can determine a stage 2 winner. The 7 machine of Josh Milam on the inside, Casey Gilchrist on the outside. That is actually a battle for 3rd and 4th. 1st and 2nd still haven't come down pit road just yet. That is Bob Lacavera and Robert Duvendak. They are running 1 and 2. Good news for them. They are running together. Now, that is a little bit faster than running by yourself, but it is not as fast as being in the pack. And Zach, these 2 are going to have to hit pit road here in, I want to say, about 6 laps, 7 laps.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't remember if these were the guys that topped off or not, if these were the 2 guys that were able to top off, where do they think that they can stretch it all the way to the end or not. But it's not looking so, especially if you're only 2 cars. I mean, you're going full throttle the whole way, so that way you don't get passed.
I didn't mean to cut you off. They're 3 wide at the front, man. Casey just got sucker holed there by his teammate. Oh, that was wild. I was making sure that didn't end up blowing up there in front of him. I think they really didn't want to see Josh move up in front of Hunter. You saw Casey try and go for the...
Big trouble!
That's the cars involved here in the back. We got a yellow yet? Oh, man.
Caution flag
a lot
is
of the rapid
out.
heat guys. man. And it looks like all the FSR guys got through safe yet again.
Les Levy getting involved in the 62. Let's see if we can back this one up and see what happened to bring out our caution flag here. Back this up just a little bit. Les Levy goes for a wild ride through the grass. Not the only one involved here. The 17 of Jimmy Reynolds getting a piece of that as well.
Looks like one of the two Vapid Yeet chase contenders was able to make it through. Looks like Travis Elliott being in the front, and he was able to make it through. Unfortunate break for Casey Gilchrist, as he was the one of the ones involved in that wreck, and unfortunately slammed the outside wall in the front. It's got big, heavy rear. We'll see if he has to use a fast repair or not here, KR and Pete.
Yeah, it's a really tough break for him there. It looks like he's going to be able to limp it all the way around. But man, it's just one of those things where I know it looks like, oh man, the 52 got into the 17. So it looks like it's that, but it's not. Like he's pushing so hard, he's going to try and get air. But at the same time, that outside groove, they benefit the most when they can side draft the guys the entire corner. So the 17 and 26 are trying to position themselves to be as close to that middle groove as possible. And they just both went for that same piece of real estate at the same time. That wasn't really driver error. That was kind of just guys taking care of their cars and trying to exploit every advantage they could. And, you know, it stinks because it was two guys that weren't in the chase, ended up collecting some guys that were. But, you know, it's not even the end of the stage yet. And that's why we had the fast repair. So when things like that happen, you got a chance to get back into it.
Bob Lacavera in the 5 coming down pit road. One of the few cars to hit pit lane here. He's going to be joined by Casey Gilchrist and Rick Seabrands. They're going to make pit stops here. Everyone else staying out. And the 12 of Robert Duvendak taking over the race lead. But Duvey going to have to hit pit road. Maybe not. Maybe he thinks he can stretch it here and get to the end of the stage. But keep in mind, just crossing the start finish line to win the stage isn't enough. You have got to make it back around and pit when pit lane opens. Otherwise you get booted out of that stage win.
Yeah, I want to know what that 12 has in his fuel tank, because man, that's crazy how he stayed out, and how his partner 5 of Lacavera, Bob, actually went into the pits and he ended up staying out. Wanted to point out Will Weber was one of your guys to get back onto the lead lap there. So now he's going to be sitting in the 21st spot. We got Sean McCara. He's going to be a lap down. Looks like with that, he may have used his fast repair, or in fact may had to tow to get to the pits.
I'll tell you what the 12's got in his gas tank. Hopes and dreams, man. That car already locked into the next round. A Dogecoin on the hood, right? Is that just sponsorship exposure opportunity? Trying to get some pump and dump action into the crypto market there, trying to get some more people buy some more of that. You know, if he has to pit with a lap or two at the end of the stage and get a penalty, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he's got much to lose. He picked up that win last week, so he can do as he pleases here within reasons in the rule book. But the 12 machine, why not go for a stage win? Why not try and keep some of these drivers who are some stiff competition, who are down in the points order, keep them away from winning a stage, keep them down low in the points, and then just try and help yourself out as much as you can.
Yep, so as of right now, as they're now on the final lap to the pacing laps, as we're going to come green on this next time by, just wanted to point out that we have 6 chase drivers within the top 10 for this restart, looking to get some stage points. One of them, though, is already locked in, Duvendak, and maybe even Josh Milam as maybe a locked in choice as well.
I do want to add, there is something to lose for Duvendak, because if he does run out of fuel, 1 lap to go here, like right on the end of the stage or something like that, and it causes a wreck, any of these guys who get caught up in that may have already used the fast repair, and it makes things a little bit rough, he might not have so many friends in that, in that next round, and he's going to need them, right? Like, this is super speedway racing. Your best friend's always the guy on your rear bumper. So, it's as much as you just love to win every single thing that you possibly can, and he's got nothing to lose and could go for it. Something goes a little wrong. He starts sputtering in turn 4 while the 26 is pushing the 7 right behind him. It might end up being a whole lot of carnage. So you got to be careful here, but it might make this really exciting.
Pace car down and away. Green flag waving fiercely. Here we go. Final laps of stage 2. Robert Duvendak has a good shove from the 7 of Josh Milam. They get a very good launch. TJ Elliott in the 51. That outside lane not working so well just yet. We're going to see if they're going to get up to speed here. Milam has that outside lane open to him. We'll see if he takes it, and he does. At the same time, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds moves to the outside.
Yeah, what a move by FSR there. And able to come back down now in front of Duvendak with Vapid Yeet of 51 of Travis Elliott. He's no stranger to the stage wins, as he did 2 races ago at iRacing Super Speedway, winning 2 stages. He's definitely wanting to look out for that and maybe try to get another stage win here to help him in his playoff hopes.
Yeah, we got 2 different agendas happening right now too, because this caution happened with like 5 laps left of green flag racing. No one's really going to lose a lap in that time, but you see cars like Casey Gilchrist with his rear end tore up. You saw Randall Cobb get a bad restart there, but it seems to be working a little bit better in his wrap. These guys are learning. They're figuring out, okay, do I need to use my fast repair yet? What's going on with this car? Will this work? Can I survive the first 2 stints and then use my fast repair on my last stop? Like, these guys are figuring out where their car is, and it was kind of risk-free. As long as there wasn't a meatball flag and they were worried about blowing up, then they can find out right now, what do I, if I've got 2 minutes of optional, do I sit down there for all of them? Am I worried about track position? Do I got to make sure I'm not the last guy on the field, or am I going to fall off the back end? Like, they're soaking up all the information they can from their car right now to put themselves in the best position on this next caution.
Keep in mind the end of stage 2 going to be at the completion of lap 50, and we are 3 wide racing at the front of this field to try and win this stage. And guys, I don't know about you, but that gets me all excited seeing them 3 wide here at Daytona, because I know these drivers are getting their elbows up. They are getting on the wheel to get after it. Logan Helton using that outside lane to his advantage. He drops down in front of the 51. He has the lead for the moment, but Hunter Reynolds coming back on that inside lane.
Yeah, what a huge push by James Mayer. I want to go back to a little bit what Pete said about those fast repairs. I was going to catch you guys back up with Casey Gilchrist. It looks like he's in the very back of this pack.
Oh, we got trouble.
Dan Harrington in the 82 going around. Several other cars involved. The 13 narrowly missing. Mark Mann, heavy damage on the 04. Yellow flag coming out. Let's see what happened here. Trouble coming out of the tri-oval. Bob Lacavera, big contact, and looks like Lacavera able to keep it off the wall there. So good recovery by the 5. Dan Harrington in the 82. Not so lucky. He's got big damage. He's going to go smacking and spinning and all kinds of other craziness. Mark Mann getting a piece of this as well.
Yeah, it looks like the number 9 of Will Weber and 53 of Dave Hunt touched fenders a little bit and just ended up hugging all the way. Once that steering wheel turns, there's no really good way of correcting that, especially if you're already hugging on to somebody. Looked like Mark Mann, like you said, was involved in that one. He just before that, he was in that the other wreck just a little bit, so he had some front end damage. Looks like he's definitely going to be using this fast repair somewhat, early, somewhat not, considering we still have half of this race left to go.
Huge break for that 13 right there. You saw Dan Harrington trying to get another score of stage points here for Meteor Racing. He locks it up right in the middle of the track. Casey was just trying to wheel it around to the end of the stage, and as he came out there in the tri-oval, he sees his car sideways in front of him. He's like, all right, cool, I'm just going to try and go. And at the exact same time, he's in Harrington's blind spot. He starts pulling forward to try and recover. we know Casey's got that car covered in damage. You could see it right there in the shot. When you got that car there like that and you realize, oh, if I get this guy going 50 miles an hour and I wreck my motor, I'm going to have to tow back to the pits. I'm going to go a lap or two down. Not only am I not going to get stage points, am I even going to be able to finish this race in the lead lap? So huge break for the 13 there. I know he still is going to want a fast repair here at stage end, but at least he doesn't have to tow.
So the stage is done and over with, and that caution kind of hurried it up just a little bit, but stage 2 winner, well, that's the man who's going to win the race off of pit road. The 63 of Logan Helton picking up the stage 2 win, and a very good job by him as well. So let's get a quick word in with the 63 of Logan Helton. And Zach, I'm going to let you take away this interview.
Logan, nice coming home with that stage 2 win there. Especially good bounce back from the wreck that you had earlier. Tell us about your strategy was to get you back up to the front and get this second stage win that you got.
Well, at the last restart of this stage, my team was asking me, what are we going to do here, boys? And I straight up said, like, I'm going for it. I wanted to get a win, possibly lock myself to the next round. It's not like completely locked in yet, but I'm comfortable enough now that I can keep pushing it for the rest of the race and not have to take it easy. But that's what my goal was. If it didn't work out and I got caught up in a wreck, then it wouldn't obviously have worked out. But it went pretty much about the best it could, and thankfully that happened.
Thankfully, indeed, that was like I said, good stage win for you on second stage. You're sitting second in points. Like you just said, you're feeling pretty comfortable now and getting that stage 1 win or stage 2 win here. Let's see. Do you feel comfortable about at the end of this race going on? Does this Chevy have enough in the tank and the moves that it's got to get you out and get this win here?
I think it definitely does. It just depends on if everything goes out and turns out fair. Last couple of weeks have been kind of hard on me and the team. A lot of things haven't gone our way, and so far it's obviously we had that one hiccup in the first stage, but we're trying to pull it back together as much as we could. I accidentally took my fast repair one time, so I'm just trying to make the best of a situation that I'd rather not be in.
Well, good comebacks from last week and for your wreck that happened earlier today. Any shout outs and thank yous you want to give?
Just want to thank my team at Alliance Motorsports. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast, my friends and family for watching, Splash and Go Graphics for making this awesome paint scheme, and Nexus Esports as well as my other team.
Gotcha. All right. Well, appreciate you having up here in the booth and talking to us.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Logan Helton from Alliance Motorsports, your stage 2 winner. Going to restart on the inside of row number 1. On his outside, the 62 of Les Levy. Then row number 2 for this restart, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, the 84 of Aspen Belvin. Then it's the 51 of TJ Elliott and the 46 of David Overstreet, who's overcoming being 1 lap down, along with the 51 of TJ Elliott. So here we go. We're getting ready to fire them off one more time. All the stages are accounted for, except for that final one where it's time to win.
The pace car rolls off now into the pits now. And we got a green flag waving. Logan Helton got a nice little push from Hunter Reynolds of the 26 behind him as Les Levy's leading that top lane now.
A lot of cars here looking a lot shinier now than they did just a few moments ago. So looks like they used that end of stage 2 to really soak up some ideas there and realize, you know what, this car is going to fall a lap down. If I try and drive out here, it's not going to stay with the pack. So, oh no, Rick Seabrand's down on the apron here. Is he ducking out of line to try and save his things there, or did he get turned?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Anytime you see that Ford down there like that, it's usually contact from someone around him where he saw something he didn't like. But Rick Seabrand's not having the race that he would like to have here in this Ford machine, and still in this pack. Don't count him out just yet.
yeah, definitely don't count him out. You know, like I said, like we said at the beginning of the race, don't count any of these drivers out. Anything can happen, especially with half the race left to go. It could be all part of Rick Seabrand's strategy wise. You know, he might smell one coming, or he just, you know, wants to sit back, maybe use that fast repair pretty early, like I think he did. And, you know, he's just wanting to take it easy and make sure he doesn't get involved in any more wrecks here from here on out.
No, I think you're exactly right, Zach. I think he did that on purpose because he knows there are no points awarded between laps 51 and 99. And as long as he's around at the end, he knows he's got a good car. It's brand new. He's able to suck up there in the draft. He's behind Mark Mann with a little bit of a cushion. You see some of these guys getting a little aggressive, moving back up, and I just don't think he wants to be a part of it. Now, I will say this. He's going to want to be a part of it because he didn't get any stage points in stage 1 or stage 2. He's not going to be able to advance with a 12th or a 13th here. He's going to have to make sure he's in the mix. And if these guys try to start short pit windows and whatnot there, he does not want to lose the pack. He absolutely does not. So if he wants to get up there, he's going to have to do so soon because his car there by himself is just not going to work as well as a bunch of guys together. And at the front. Oh, no. Oh, they didn't save it, man. Rick looks like a genius.
Big time pile up at the front of the field. The 4 machine brings it to a stop as we look at the parking lot from his point of view, and a massive pile up, and one car involved in this one, the 46 machine. Let's see if we can back this up and figure out what happened here on this one. Try and take a look here. 4 cars get through that from the front row. There's a lot to unpack here, so we're gonna try and keep clicking through some of these crashes.
Yeah, it looks like I know you said 4 cars, but I know TJ Elliott and Logan Helton came out clean. It looks like Les Levy got a little side damage from Hunter Reynolds, and James Mayer ended up getting the front end damage heavily to Hunter Reynolds from rear end and from rear end in front of Hunter Reynolds.
Yeah, it looks like Josh in the 7 there, Josh Milam, was trying to fade down behind the 26, or maybe the 26 was creeping up a little bit there on the yellow line. It's unsure. I can tell you none of that was definitely intentional. Those guys are teammates and near the front all the time. Like, they definitely would have never have wanted to cause anything like that to the other one for sure. But then he gets a little loose and he almost saves it on the bottom, and then it just kind of all unfolds. You got the smoke, you got guys reacting to the smoke and piling into each other from all over the place, and it's just a roadblock. You see the 13, the 9, a few other cars like that just stop at the top of the track, let it all unfold. I mean, look at that. Mark Mann and Rick Seabrand's just kind of like going through it like bicycle speed. We got perfect cars now, and it'll be interesting to see how many of these guys already use their fast repairs. Are they going to be limping around the rest of the time here trying to score some points? Are you going to have guys that are out of the chase just kind of park it for the night? Is that going to affect things down the road? Let's see.
All right, guys, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Green flag coming back out. Logan Helton in the 63, leading this field into turn number 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're wrapping this race up, as we are on the downhill side here of our lap counter. The 63 has the advantage. The 53 right behind him, that is Dave Hunt. They are going to go down the backstretch on the inside line. TJ Elliott in the 51 making a move to the outside. He's going to join the 9 of Will Weber and the 84 of Aspen Belvin as they sail off into turn 3. Zach, how about you take us into a little bit of Turn It Up?
Well, let's do it. Always want to hear these cars go rumbling.
And we have a big caution coming out here for I don't know, for a crash. I don't know where I was going with that as I'm trying to back everything up and set up this replay. Looks like we have one car in trouble. The 9 of Will Weber got loose coming off the corner, triggering a big crash at the front of the field. Take one more look at this one. The 17 of Jimmy Reynolds has an excellent view of it, and then he does it, and then he comes back and he shuts it down in all of the smoke. Logan Helton getting involved in this one. Let's see if we can get a look at what happened to Logan Helton in the 63 as he is spinning through that. That is a tough break for Logan Helton. I believe that's the second one that he is involved in. Aspen Belvin getting involved coming from deep in the field.
I tell you what, KR and Pete, by the end of this race, we might have every car having to hold a piece apart with duct tape all over these cars, because, man, there has been some big ones tonight. I just wanted to remember before the break and everything that we had with Rick Seabrands doing his strategy with the avoiding the wrecks. He did another nice job avoiding this one too. That's 2 wrecks now. 2 big ones, should I say, that he's avoided because, like I said, he used that fast repair and whew, it's been working for him ever since.
Well, I use this phrase with the utmost admiration for the guys who do this professionally, but that there may have had some major chase implications because Seabrands is 8 points to the bad of the line, and he's chasing his teammate Holloway, who's at 1,081 points. Seabrands at 1,073. That's a big gap between 8th and 9th where this cutoff is, but just ahead of Daniel Holloway, you've got Travis Elliott, who got a little bit of that. You got Hunter Reynolds, who's been caught up in a wreck here. You got Ernie Williams, who's multiple laps down. You've got Casey Gilchrist, who just got driving all through the grass right there and has just used a fast repair. Like Logan Helton, that 1097 is not safe. That car might be toast after that whole flip over there. So it's not over. And there's a lot of guys who are chomping at the bit to try and get right back into this. Might not have a fast repair in pocket, but they still might be sitting the best right now.
So looks like I'm just gonna point our way towards the end of the pack here. It looks like Bob Lacavero has gone a lap down. Sean McCara actually is sitting out. It looks like he would no longer be getting into the sim tonight, because he is 17 laps down in the final 23rd spot. David Overstreet getting that wave around with 1 lap down, and Ernie Williams still fighting his way back from what most I seen was 3 laps down. He's now gone back to 1 lap down and is in the lucky dog position if another caution plans to come out soon.
I tell you, that 4-car though, not straying from the strategy. Went down there and topped off on fuel. I don't even know if he took fuel. We don't know. We don't know the pit strategy necessarily, but he went to get back at the line. And with a lot more of these cars taking fast repairs, I don't think he's going to get caught behind someone that's damaged. I think he just wants to be in the safe spot here. I think he's seen enough carnage up front. He's like, there are still plenty of laps left in this thing. Just because I saw 2 big ones doesn't mean there's not going to be a 3rd, 4th, or 5th one or something like that. So C-Brands again, I don't think it was a fuel strategy, because none of his teammates went down there with him. It was just him alone. Here we go to green.
Yep. All right, we're gonna turn it up here with these cars coming around on lap 64 here. We're gonna see some nice 2 wide, maybe 3 wide action, and let's turn it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our Turn It Up went through a lot of racing action that time, and meanwhile at the front of the field, the 18 of Mark Vega, the 62 of Les Levy, battling it out. Vega down on the inside, Levy on the outside. He's got 3 cars working with him, or 2 other cars, making a total of 3 cars in the outside lane. They are hanging tough out there. And that being said, when we start seeing drivers line up on that inside lane, we start thinking about green flag pit stops, drivers last on pit road on lap 61. Now we're still outside of the fuel window, so I'm not really sure if everyone is just trying to ride it out here a little bit, log some laps, or if we're going to start seeing some crazy pit strategies.
Yeah, I'm not for sure, KR. Looks like 62 was getting a big push from Will Weber. I thought he was going to be able to hop right in front of down of Vega, but it looks like he didn't get enough momentum there. But yeah, these cars are definitely all single file except the 3 cars. One of them already locked in is the Duvendak, of course, and the Dodge Coin number 12.
I think with 36 laps to go in that restart, we're in 18 laps a session. That's pushing it, but it's not impossible. I think some of these guys in the back here that are hanging out single file are thinking, not necessarily are they going to go for it, but they want to be able to if the opportunity presents itself. You look, you see so many chase guys back here between the 13, 91, even though he's a lap down, he knows saving fuel can help him out here. 7, the 26, the 4, they're all just back here taking it easy, you know, and some of those guys haven't even led a lap today. That would be a nice bonus point for them to get. That's what the 62 is trying to do right now. But a lot of these guys are just trying to, if this race goes green, I want to have the option to try. And that's what you're really seeing here. I don't know if they've got extra guys in their ear telling them the point situation. That's a little bit iffy. It's kind of hard to keep track of on the fly. You try to do it in your head, but you really can only do so much. You're really focused on driving more than anything else. But a lot of these guys are really going to need a huge finish here, because we're looking maybe 19 cars in the lead lap right now. It's less than that. It's going to be close. You're going to need guys to finish way back there if you want to gain a huge chunk of points on them. This is not a 40-car field.
Yeah, 23 cars getting into this race here tonight. Right now, 22 of them out on the track. Of those 22 cars, well, 18 of them are on the lead lap. Ernie Williams leading the cars that are 1 lap down. Aspen Bellman just joined the battle to be the first car 1 lap down, as he is going to fight with Ernie Williams and Bob Lacavera. Lacavera in the 5 machine, heavily torn up. And David Overstreet has just hit pit road. So an early pit entry for the driver of the 46. He was not on the lead lap when he came down pit lane, but still a sign of maybe things to come here with the rest of the field.
Yeah, and speaking of with all these lap cars, let's hope that green flag pit stops are coming underway here pretty soon for the 91 and the 5 and 84, as they're fighting for that the lucky dog position. As looking on the opposite side of the track right now, we got the number 63 of Logan Helton just off the pace, off the draft of everybody, and he's going into the tri-oval all by himself. So
they're going to catch him real soon at this rate. One thing I don't think we noticed up here is that these 2 guys leading the pack both could really benefit from a win, right? Like, they're both on the outside looking in as far as points go. They didn't get a whole lot. Well, Mark Vega has gotten a lot of stage points, but he came in a little bit further behind. Les Levy not getting quite as many stage points as he would have liked tonight. These guys are both outside looking in, both part of Checkered Flag Motorsports, dictating the pace right now, not saving any fuel. Going to be interested to see how it plays out for those guys. They kind of need another caution here, because with 36 to go, I don't know if you can be anywhere close to the lead like this and flooring it all the way around and actually make it on one more stop. It's going to be real close. I think you see Mark just letting his guy down there, and they're going to say, let's let this 9-car lead in the outside for a little bit. Let's save a little bit here, because they're really they're seeing, hey, look, it's all single file behind us. Why are we the only guys using all our gasoline?
I just want to cut in front for a little bit. That just wanted to point out, hey, both of them drivers that could benefit, guess what? Both of the first names are Mark.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Tyler Miller. Tyler not able to join us here tonight, as it seems like he got caught up at work, and apparently his priorities are either out of whack or in check, depending on how you want to look at it. But Tyler Miller, 4 pole positions for this guy, a rookie here on Monday nights, and not able to make it into the chase contention, but somebody who's really getting a lot of attention is that Tyler Miller. Like I said, 4 pole positions. He has more than anyone else this season, and just a rookie. So you got to be wondering what he's doing. Like, I know how much I cheat, and he's still beating me.
I know when I was doing my homework, and I messaged it to him in the chat just now, I was looking for Empire Motorsports to dominate tonight. Like, they have a stable of really good drivers. Duvendak is their only chase guy, though, and he's already locked in. So I thought either between Duvendak or Miller or Derek Conley or any of these guys, they had a much better shot to get really aggressive, take on crazy pit strategies, do whatever the race would let them, the high variance play that might pay off. I thought that's what that team was going to do. And I guess they just they realized, well, there's not really that much at stake. Let's save all that energy and see if we can lock Doovie into the final round with a win next week. I think that's the line that they're going for here. Oh no, Harrington in the apron.
Dan Harrington off track. Let's see what happened to the 82. An accordion effect there. Able to hold on to it and save it. Good catch there. The 7 machine of Josh Milam taking evasive action as well. Everyone continues on, and Les Levy, your race leader. And the Borge, we have a request.
I'll throw a link in chat for anyone who needs it there. I've got my Google spreadsheet ready to go. I could post the link right there in just a moment. Let me just get the sharing permissions all taken care of.
I was going to say, we got a couple fans watching who want to see the points breakdown as they run right now. I don't know if we can do as they run right now, but we can definitely give you at the end of stage 2. And this is getting closer and closer, not only as we're coming to 22 laps to go, but the shakeups that are going on here all night long have been absolutely insane. This points situation is far from settled, and Zach, the 62 of Les Levy, he's a driver who needs a win to get in here. Not necessarily a win, but kind of on the outside, and holy cow.
I mean, him and all these top 3 drivers in front right now. We got a couple cars pulling off. Daniel Holloway and Logan Helton. Fortunate tough break for Logan Helton as he was able to get taken under for that 1 lap down. Ernie Williams was in the draft line, so he was able to pass Logan Helton. So now he's in the top spot for the lucky dog position. But yeah, these top 3 drivers, they definitely need a win here. So be on the lookout.
So the 62 of Les Levy, your race leader. We do have 2 cars on pit road. Now make it 3 cars as they quickly come off a pit lane. So some green flag pit stops happening a little bit early here. 21 laps to go. Now everyone at the front really starting to peel off. Mark Mann going to stay out, but Les Levy hitting pit road. And yeah, this is right on the edge.
Yeah, the guys who pitted on lap 80, I don't think can make it. But these guys on 80, or the guys on 81 here, I think have a chance. We'll see. You can see, look at the big names that are still out of the track. That should tell you what they're doing. Like Rick Seabrand's on the outside of the chase looking in, but you've got Milam and Hunter Reynolds there. They're going for it too. They're trying to cover that base and make sure that's good. Mark Mann's still out there. Like there's some big names chase-wise that are still out here. This isn't just your typical guys going for a win and trying to gamble and lead some laps. These are names that aren't worried about leading the laps. They're worried about leading the last one. We'll see if they peel off altogether here in this next one or if they're even going to try and push it one further because they've been saving for a while.
All right, another group of drivers peeling off for pit lane. Mark Mann leading this one. James Mayer, big wiggle. Thought maybe he was going to break off and hit the 0-4, but he holds on to it. So the 4 of Rick Seabrands, the 52 of Randall Cobb, They are staying out. They are stretching their fuel. Now, here's the thing about this. They still have to keep in mind a green, white, checkered attempt or 2 if we need it. We can go to 2 attempts if we need to. And the 4 machine, he hits pit lane here this time around. I believe he's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of our scheduled distance, but that still keeps it shy. Ooh, wow, the 52 chopping down across the 5 there. But man, this is going to be close for the 4 and the 52, not only for the end of the race, but if we go into a green, white, checkered, if we go into overtime, that's going to be a big one as well.
Yeah, the 52 is always great at saving fuel, too. It seems like every time I stretch my fuel, it's like, oh, I'm out here alone with Randall Cobb again. So it's going to be important that they get off pit road together. It's going to be important that they kind of stay relevant as far. They don't need to necessarily be in the pack, but they need to be at least a pit stop ahead of the pack, because if they only go on one more stop, that can save them about 30 seconds or so. But if they fall more than 30 seconds behind before that happens, then it negates the strategy entirely. So looks like they're getting off okay here. We'll see how well they can push each other and how much time they're losing with only 2 cars together.
I want to go back to lap 80 on that first pit cycle of that group. Very bad news for the Vapid Yeet team, as Casey Gilchrist in the 13 car was on the way in the pit lane, and the 44 of Cobb, Rodney Cobb, came down and hit the 13, and the 13 hit the inside barrier, causing him to lose his front end. And I believe 13 already used his fast repair, so very bad news for the 13 of chase contending Casey Gilchrist.
So the 13 in trouble here. We ride on board with the 04 Mark Mann, James Mayer, and the 95 on the outside. This is a battle for the race lead. Josh Milam in the 7 has the lead. Milam representing Fuel Sim Racing, the Al Pacino's Booty Sweat Energy Drink Machine. Out in front, the 95 of Mayer, leading the charge in the outside lane. Holy cow, this is getting ready to get wild and crazy.
As you see, James Mayer going back to the top lane now, losing that momentum, giving the middle lane to Mark Mann as the lead pack of Les Levy behind him. FSR all down on the bottom row here, the first 3 spots.
All right, you mentioned Casey Gilchrist entering the pits. That's not what I wanted to see. Let's try and see if I can.
Yeah, I believe it was lap 80, KR.
As we go back live here, I'm going to see if I can figure out where Casey Gilchrist and Rodney Cobb get together. All right, let's try this one once again. Watching the 13, the 44 coming down, brakes locked up.
We got a wreck towards the front here. Oh, they ended up catching it.
The 44 tries to go for his pit box. The 13 was to his inside, and Casey Gilchrist coming out the big loser on that one, smacking hard into the inside wall. So there you go. There was that one that we talked about. 15 laps to go.
I just want to add how impressed I was actually with the 4 and the 52 here. Not only did they wait and drive a whole extra lap. Okay, when you do that, you're driving just you guys by yourself. That next lap is going to be so much slower than the end laps of all of your opponents. And then they come out and they're just fine. Rick is running second place. He's got 1 extra lap in hand or 2 laps in hand on some of these guys pit-wise. He's like 3 laps on Holloway. Like they're in really good shape here. If this does go green the rest of the way, not only is he going to have a chance to make it, he's going to do it while he's running second right now. Now, I will say this. He definitely doesn't want to lead. That's going to wipe out whatever advantage he has fuel-wise. I don't even know if he really wants to be second. I think he probably would want another car or 2 in front of him, but he is not floored it. You can see there's a little bit of separation between him and Holloway in front. those guys are Alliance teammates, but at the end of the day, they're all trying to make the second round as best they can. And if Holloway can squeeze it out and make it here, you know, Rick's in a good point spot, but you can see Ernie Williams really trying to get that lap back here. So when that caution comes out, he can finally get back in the mix. He's been fighting since the early stages to get that lap back.
Man, I'll tell you what, Ernie Williams in the 91, not giving up here tonight. I'd love to see him get back on the lead lap and get back in this fight. But Zach, I interrupted you there a little bit, so the floor is yours.
No, you're good. I was just wanting to point out on that beginning lap 86, whenever we were talking about Casey, ended up being Les Levy ended up getting a bad bump from the 4 of Rick Seabrands into the infield, came back and hit Mark Mann, and that caused a huge check up on the pack. But Les Levy ended up being able to work that wheel and get it back onto the track, and sure enough, they're getting all bunched up again now. So.
The 91.
Incredible stuff. It's just so good here to see all of these guys really pushing it down here at the end. You can see how much the energy's amped up. This is not single file. These guys aren't saving, right? Like the 4 car is thinking he can make it, and maybe the 52 is thinking he can make it, although he's in the middle too and getting super aggressive. These other guys are like, look, I'm not going to make it. So let's just go up there, get some track position. If a caution happens, we're all going to pit. If it doesn't happen, then we'll all pit under green too, but let's make sure we're at the front of the field when that happens. Like, you can just see the energy has amped up compared to before, because they know if they go single file again, that's going to play right into the hands of the 4 and the 52 and nobody else.
Yeah, the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. finding himself out in front, back on the lead lap, and it has been a long time since this 91 has been on the lead lap. But man, the fight that the 91 has gone through just to get to this point, if I recall, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I usually am, there's numbers involved, but I believe he was 3 laps down at one point.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Absolutely was.
All right, I'll throw you guys underneath the bubble here, and I'm going to steal one of your drivers. I already know it, but we got 10 laps to go. My favorite thing to do, what are the ones to watch for at the end of this race? Anything can happen in 10 laps. I'll tell you my pick first. I'm going to go with that 4 of Rick Seabrands. He's had strategy movement all night, been able to, fortunately had to use that fast repair at the beginning, but able to save himself and his car from all the wrecks that had happened and be able to be out here in the 3rd position or 2nd position right now.
All right, Peter.
Man, that's tough. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I actually think either the 18 or the 04 get it done. I think they're going to be the most aggressive here down the stretch. Seabrands is in the best shape of the guys not currently in the top 8. A 2nd place might get it done for him. The 18 and the 04 know that's not enough. They know they absolutely have to go for broke here. The 18 has also got, well, maybe not now. Now I changed my mind now that the 26 has jumped out on him. I was going to say the 18's got the best pushers in the league on him now. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Look at that. They're letting him back in. I think they're going to really work that outside line. The 4 is definitely in the best spot pit strategy-wise, but I wouldn't be shocked to see one of these guys who's on the outside just really just go for broke and steal the show.
All right, so let's factor in fuel strategies here. The 4 machine, I believe, can make it to the end of the race. Rick Seabrands pitted on lap 82. That's 18 laps of racing, and he's a driver who can conserve fuel. I think he can make it to the end of our scheduled distance. He pitted along with Randall Cobb. They were the only 2 drivers to pit on lap 82. Cobb picked up race 1 in this wild card round. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that Randall Cobb in the 52 is going to be the one to come away with the win here tonight.
That would be awesome. To get 2 of the 3 rounds, just miss the playoffs. Obviously a huge threat every time on any track that he goes on there. So, playoff start, he's not in it. He gets mad, takes 2 of the first 3 races that just the chasers think they're entitled to. That would be absolutely awesome to see.
As we're going crazy now, in turn 3, we got 3 wide action. 18, Pete's pick. up on that top lane, giving a nice big push from FSR, 26 of Hunter Reynolds and 7 of Josh Milam. We got the Alliance team of both 4s, 4 and 04 of Mark Mann and Rick Seabrands running that middle lane as for the Alliance team.
Yeah, the 18 is not in a good spot pit-wise, right? Like, he pit lap, 79? He's like, or lap 80, so he's 2 laps below the 4, and they're battling side by side in the lead right now. If I'm the 4, my job is to get out in front and make sure these guys have to drive fast. Like, that's, and the 52 should be included in that as well. They should be making sure that the guys behind them can't save that lap or two, that they really do have to go for it, because if there is a caution now, or if there's a green white checkered later, they might still want to go for it. They might. Ernie Williams, though, he is now, forget the lap down that he is now, that's irrelevant. He's up to 17th place. That's huge. You know why? Because it means he can only lose like 16 points on the leader, or 15 points on second place. And for a guy who's got 1,092 points to Rick Seabrand's 1,073, that's a 19-point gap right there. That means if Seabrands finishes second and Ernie stays where he is, Ernie still finishes in front of Rick. So by not giving up, by being 3 laps down, then 2 laps down, then 1 lap down, and just comfortably riding it out here, he's going to secure enough points to probably lock himself in no matter what.
Bob Lacavera hitting pit road, a sign of things to come as we have 5 laps to go. Casey Gilchrist in the 13, heavily torn up front end, a chase contender finding problems here tonight. The 13 going 1 lap down. Logan Helton in the 63, also 1 lap down. Those are your chase contenders, along with the 91 of Ernie Williams, who are 1 lap down, but the 91 right here tucked in tight behind the 18 machine of Mark Vega. And here comes the 53 of Dave Hunt on the pit road.
As we're going 3 wide still, Team Alliance in the middle. We got Mark Vega and Ernie Williams, even though he's a lap down, still right behind Mark Vega, trying to earn that 1 lap down the hard way, which KR loves to see. But we're coming around 3 wide, but wondering who's going to hit the pit next.
Will Weber's going to have to slow down a bit here. He's going to try to enter turn 3 at the same time these guys are going by. Oh, man, Bob Lacavera, same deal. They kept it down in the apron. Good job by those guys. All right, I'm waiting to see if a chase contender fits here.
Bob Lacavera got turned by the 9 of Will Weber. He just could not keep it checked up.
Oh, and Holloway's hitting pit road. Chase contender.
Holloway, a driver we knew was not going to be able to make it. The only 2 drivers I feel confident that are going to be able to make it, that is Randall Cobb in the 52 and the 4 Rick Seabrands. Everyone else, I think, is going to have to hit pit road, and 3 laps to go. They're just trying to ride this out, trying to get to a caution. And this could be an absolutely crazy finish, especially if we don't use a green-white checkered overtime situation.
Yeah, Ernie Williams got a little close. Oh, looks like we got a car in the back hitting the apron, ended up sliding a little bit.
That was the 82 of Dan Harrington, caught it, and we continue on into green. I'm getting too excited here. The 4 Rick Seabrands out in front. He does not drop down to the inside just yet. He's trying to bring his teammate, the 04 Mark Mann, with him. Here we go. 2 laps to go.
So it looks like we got Rick Seabrands going down on the 18 of Mark Vega. Mark Mann in the center now. Rick somehow left his teammate. I don't know what this is going to pay out for him for, but FSR all in the top. 26 Hunter Reynolds, 7 Josh Milam behind him.
Wow, look at this here. That was a huge move by Rick because he knows that the 18 wins the race. That's another spot he'd have to climb in the standings. Here we come to the white. Are they going to make? Oh no, we got some contact.
Big contact through the tri-oval. A lot of crashing behind them. Rick Seabrands in the 4 out in front, but we got to the white flag. This is going to be the final lap. The fuel load on everyone is questionable, but nobody hit pit lane, so that tells me everyone's going to try and make it to the end of this one. The 4 Seabrands has the lead.
These cars on the outside are going to get a huge run. Rick's way too far ahead. I think they're going to get a big run on him here. Look at the 82 just flying up in the picture now.
Yeah,
Is he going to be able to block both lines?
Yeah, I don't know if Rick's going to go up and block him or not. 17 of Jimmy got a little swiggle there. He couldn't get to the back of Josh Milam's bumper. Mark Mann's going to go in the pits. It looks like he ran out of fuel. Rick Seabrand's going to block the 7.
He's going to get it done.
Rick Seabrand's in the 4, pulls off a big win here tonight. And what did I tell y'all? Don't tug on Superman's cape. That Ford machine came away with the win here tonight. The 7 of Josh Milam finishes in 2nd. Jimmy Reynolds in the 17 going to finish in 3rd. 4th place going to Dan Harrington, an outstanding drive for the 82, considering that 2 laps before the end, he was sideways down on the apron. And the 04 of Mark Mann going to end up in 5th spot.
And it's looking like Josh Milam and then just had enough fuel as there looks like Josh Milam is out coming out of turn 4. So what crazy way. I mean, probably running right on fumes there for that final lap.
I think Rick was going to go 5 more laps if he wanted to. He saved so much. He was ready to go. He was never crossing that yellow line under any circumstance there, and found himself at the right place at the right time, was able to get it done. A lot of popular names still fish that top 5, but look at Dan Harrington there in 4th. Almost spun the car out, 2 laps to go. Comes back to finish P4. Mark Mann still getting it to roll across the finish line out of fuel in 5th. That's going to make the points here a little crazy here. I know Race Control is cracking it up right now, trying to tally it all up and get these guys an announcement soon. Look at all these cars celebrating this.
All right, let's kick off our post-race show by talking to our race winner, the Ford machine of Rick Seabrands. And Rick, we had a chat before this race started. You said stage 1 didn't go your way. Your strategy was going to change. But I don't think your strategy ever changed. I thought your strategy all the way through was win this race.
Man, I tell you what, I'm sick to death here. I mean, I felt awful about what happened there in stage 1. We was sitting really good to just come in tonight and point our way in, and we were looking like we were going to get some good stage points there. And my car, when I got out of the gas there to get a good bump there on Jim, it just felt like the front end got light, and I caught it once, and then it got light again, and I felt like I made contact, even though the RC didn't think I did. But I still got to apologize to all them people caught up in that, man. I felt like that was on me. But after that, we had to use our quick repair, and then it was just kind of must-win situation for us. We were just in trouble from there, man. I can't thank these Alliance Motorsports Yeti team for the cars that they bring us, man. We had that hiccup last week. We were going to be set up for probably a top 3 finish at Talladega, and we had that late engine failure, and it really put us in a tough spot coming here to Daytona. But thankfully, this team, there's no quit, man, and we regrouped and got a different strategy and was able to come up there and get a win tonight.
Well, Rick, an outstanding drive for the Ford machine. What a great effort for you here tonight to get this win and make your way into the round of 8. Any shout outs or thank yous that you haven't said yet that you'd like to give?
Shout out to all the fans at home watching. I hope they really enjoyed this, man. This was a really fun race to be a part of. I hope it was a fun race for them to watch. You guys in the broadcast booth for bringing it to them, and of course all the owners for putting this together and giving us an opportunity to come out here and have some fun on Monday nights.
Rick, it's Peter. I want to say that was an incredible race to watch. But to me, I know you're going to think about the fuel strategy or the pass there at the end. To me, you really set yourself up to win this race lap 51. Once stage 2 was over and you took that pit stop there, I don't know if it was fuel concerns or what, but I think you knew right away, I want to be at the back of this line. And you line up on the inside way back there. And I was like, he's already out of his fast repair. He's thinking finish, finish, finish.
Yeah, without a car and without anything to rebound on, we were just in ride mode and try and put ourselves in position with enough gas the last handful, 10 laps of this race. And I have to give my fuel guy a raise there, man. He gave us just enough to get us there. I thought we might be in trouble there when just me and Randall stayed out and everybody else pitted But thankfully, those guys on pit road did a tremendous job. Got me a good pit stop. We got back out, got back in the mix, and I could bring it home in first tonight.
All right, Rick. Well, once again, congratulations, man. Thank you very much for joining us here in the booth for the post-race show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, with that being said, let's move on to our second place finisher. And that is none other than Josh Milam in the 7 who ran out. And Fritchie, I believe you caught up with our second place finisher.
What's up?
Yeah, Josh, awesome. Man, once again, I talked to you last week, with the ups and downs. Once again, this week you got some more ups and downs, but guess what? You still end up to find a way to get this podium finish and still leading the points. And I got to say, do you still feel comfortable? Because, I sure in the heck would if I were you.
I'm never comfortable with the P2. I know I got to get a P1 or 3 next time, man. They put me with Richie again, KR. Come on, man. Just kidding. But, no, it was a good run. I snuck it out there and somehow managed to keep out of that mess there at the end. Doing all I could for my boy Hunter to get him a win. I know he was struggling in points. Think he's going to get in, but I was just there for him tonight. And we about snuck one out, but unfortunately he got taken out, and I managed to pass through. So, fun run there at the end.
Yeah, very good run indeed. It was awesome calling this race. Very action-packed. FSR seemed like it had good high lines out throughout the whole night. Unfortunately, it looked like Jimmy couldn't get to your bumper there for that last lap to get you through the lead or for the win, though. But it was an awesome race to call. Just wanted to shout out to you and everything you do for OP.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you called it there, Jimmy. I know he had some damage, so he was doing all he can to help us out there on that third line, and he didn't have what it took to make it happen there with the Speedways, but we were doing our best. And I saw him up in my rear view there at the end. He come and gave me a nice shove. It wasn't enough because I had some damage, he had some damage, so I said we did what we could there, and I'm happy for Jimmy. Big shout out to Jimmy Reynolds tonight, man. He's had a rough season, and I'm super happy for that guy finally getting a podium.
Oh, that's good to hear. Any shout outs and thank yous you want to give?
Absolutely. My boys at FSR, Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds, Ernie Williams Jr., Dustin Barber, all great teammates, awesome guys to run with. Shout out to you guys in the booth tonight. You do a fantastic job. And shout out to all the guys that make things happen in OP.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations on the second place finish.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, that was Josh Milam, getting it done for second spot. Now we move on to third place here tonight. And Peter, you've caught up with our third place finisher.
Hey, Jimmy, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Dude, how great's it feel to be talking after this race to us?
Ooh, man, it's good considering my luck lately.
Yeah, I know. Second top 5 of the year, but man, did it come at a great time. Getting to push your teammate up there at the end, be part of a big race like that. Talk us through what did your day kind of feel like to you? Because we saw you kind of up and down for a bit there, and then the FSR guys pitted maybe a lap or two too early, but it looks like you guys saved fuel at the end. What was that like?
Yeah, we did. We pitted a little too early at that one shot, but my night it was up and down. I got caught in that one wreck, had to use a fast repair. We got caught up in another incident. Had about 20 seconds to fix, and didn't think I had speed, but it worked out for me.
Take us through that last lap there, right when you're entering a tri-oval and you see all the carnage breaking out there. What's going through your mind? Are you saying I'm staying glued to the bumper of my teammate here? Or am I just going to try and finish? Because you got out of it, and not only did you get out, you got out of it mostly ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, that was it was really as simple as that. I was just, if it was Josh or Hunter, I was going to be right there on the outside lane with them, and I just followed them. So I wasn't lifting either. So it turned out good for us. Not so good for Hunter, but me and Josh got up there, so that was good.
Yeah, well, tell you what, second top 5 of the year, I don't think we're done yet. Like, you could definitely get super aggressive. You got 2 guys that you're definitely trying to shove to some more, maybe 3 guys, actually. I'm miscounting there. I think Ernie's going to make it here because of how many people got tore up at the end. So Your job, I guess, at this point is going to be to make sure those guys make the next round after this one. But who says you can't get a win in there along the way?
Hey, that'd be good to get a win. I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, well, we appreciate all that you guys do here for us, and we know you're a big part of what goes on behind the scenes here at OP. And to steal a line from you, without you, there'd be no us. So thanks so much, and congratulations on the great run.
That's a good one. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for doing what y'all do.
That is Jimmy Reynolds, our third place finisher, final spot on the podium here tonight. So let's roll right into our results here, and we'll let Peter do the math for a moment. Rick Seabrands, your race winner, advancing into the round of 8. Josh Milam in the 7, finishing in 2nd. Jimmy Reynolds 3rd. Dan Harrington 4th. And rounding out your top 5, the 04 of Mark Mann.
Then we got 6 and the favorite 12 car of mine, Robert Duvendak. In 7th, we got the 95 of James Mayer. In 8th, we got the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. In 9th, the 62 of Les Levy. In 10th, the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
Shout out to Dave Hunt 11th. I know we saw him spin into the infield multiple times tonight. Brings that home. P11 on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap. Heartbreak for the next 2 guys, though. They were KR and I's pick to maybe bring it home here with Mark Vega and Randall Cobb. Just not finishing there. Probably having to take a tow there on the last lap. Travis Elliott bringing it home 14th there. I'm not quite sure. That might be enough points, though. I think with enough guys back here outside the top 10, that might be able to squeak in. We got some lap leaders and stuff we'd have to add up still. So, and then after that, we got Rodney Cobb, who had the great fuel strategy there at the end. I thought he was going to have a chance there, too, but not quite there, finishing P15.
In 16th will be Ernie Williams in the 91. Logan Helton in the 63 machine, finishing 17th. 18th place goes to Will Weber. 19th, Casey Gilchrist. And Bob Lacovera, 3 laps down, finishing in 20th.
And then your final 3 drivers we have is 84 Aspen Belbin, finishing in the 21st spot. 46 of David Overstreet and the 22nd spot, and Sean McCara in the 71, finishing in the 23rd spot.
All right, guys. Well, another race done and in the books, and the Borge. Have you been able to crunch the numbers yet? Do you know?
I don't want to say anything that might be incorrect because I don't have any of the lap leader data. I don't know who led the most laps. I don't want to put anything out there that might be incorrect. So check out the standings if you're not part of the Facebook group. If you aren't part of that, you can look at it on Dan Lisa and try and find it that way. But I really want to make
sure. Oh, what? I'm sorry. Were you talking?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
You want to put something on the spot? I mean, these
no,
guys...
I'll tell you what. This one was very, very close. Yeah. So no one wants to blame you for that. But we do know Rick Seabrands in because he won. Robert Duvendak in because he won last week. What a heck of a race we had here tonight. And so before we close out, Peter, I'm going to let you give me your final thoughts here, and then we'll move on to Zach.
What an incredible opportunity here to do this tonight. I really appreciate you guys having me in. This is my first actual cutoff playoff race I even got to watch from OP. I've been in the series here in the feeder series for a little bit, but man, just seeing the tensions, the energy, the emotions, how much this matters. And I know we're sitting in front of our computers at home with steering wheels and stuff, but like you could just see the camaraderie, the teammates, how they're all supporting one another. You heard it in the interviews, how much they care about one another here. This is the end of round 1. Just wait till the stakes are cranked up next round. We got 2 races coming in there, and the track doesn't get any easier than this. We're going to have Daytona 08 mixed in there. It's going to be, I'm sure they're going to crank up the temperature on some of these other ones too. You're going to have the 8 best drivers OP has to offer on the toughest tracks, while you're going to have some other guys out there who are like, well, I'm not in the chase anymore. Let's just go win a race. And it's going to be amped up this times 2. And then even in the final 4, it's going to be so much more intense. But what an incredible race to watch tonight. And I just can't wait to see next week.
All right, Fritchie, your turn. Final thoughts here tonight. Final race in the wild card series.
Well, I just wanted to point out, obviously, the most obvious thing that I did, the driver to watch, he ended up winning this race. But no, it was it was an incredible race, man. Action packed. This is obviously one of my first. This is my first two cutoff race of OP that I've ever watched too, and this was definitely a thriller. Yeah, you know, to agree with Peter there, and you know, I'm glad Peter was able to join us tonight because man, to get that experience like I did last week, you know, this is really fun up in the booth. I'm glad to be up here with UKR. I'm glad watching this race and calling this race. These races are really awesome. And I want to thank everybody throughout the fans. And yeah, this race was definitely a good one. And I can't wait to see what's in store for the round of 8.
All right, guys. So there you have it. The World Center of Racing hosting the final race in the wild card round. Rick Sebrands picks up the win. An outstanding drive by the Ford machine. All of our competitors, 23 drivers, taking the green flag here tonight, and all of them put on a heck of a show. So thank you very much for joining me on behalf of everyone here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I don't know, Fritchie and the Borge, nicknames being used there. Hope you all enjoyed the show, and I look forward to seeing you all next Monday night as we get ready to rock and roll once again. So until then, y'all stay safe. Have a good night.
Warning, the following stunts are performed by idiots or under the supervision of stupider idiots. If you attempt to reenact any of these idiotic stunts you will see, you will be left with idiotic scars. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Alex Green. Welcome to OP Racing.